Maxton Hall Season 2, Episode 4 is out now, and I have to tell you that I'm a little disappointed. Basically, nothing happened in this episode besides James and Ruby getting back together, which was obvious, and Mortimer being the monster he is. Thankfully, I got everything about Episode 5, so buckle up. I think we all knew that the storm was bad news. I mean, I know that when you see storms in movies and shows, it means that something really bad will happen 99% of the time, and you don't need to be a genius to know that not only will something bad happen, but it'll also have terrible consequences. Mortimer is now going directly back to the house, thanks to the storm, and we know that James and Ruby will also be there. Mortimer has been telling James to stay away from Ruby since he first saw them trying on dresses, and he was really mad that morning after the news in the paper. So, something is telling me that seeing his son with Ruby, probably naked, in the house after telling him to stop seeing her just that morning is not gonna help him calm down, and I'm pretty sure that he's gonna say terrible things to Ruby, which cannot be taken back. I'm just shocked that he doesn't even feel any shame while doing the things he does. So after what's going to happen, and James doesn't stand up for Ruby again, I don't think that Ruby will want to see him for a while. But since James has started not to care about what his father says and realize that he has his own will, I think this time will be different. He'll stand up for Ruby and leave the house with her. I can see that he's done doing everything his father says. This is also why I think that he didn't go to his Oxford interview again. He was already telling Ruby that his father is making him do things he doesn't want. Like going to Oxford and being with Elaine, he also didn't tell Ruby anything about his Oxford interview when she asked, so he definitely didn't attend it. So let me tell you how things will work out. Mortimer will find out on his way home that James didn't go to the interview and he'll be furious. Then he'll storm into James's room without even knocking, and he's going to see the two of them lying in bed. So he'll get even more furious and ask James why he didn't go to his interview. This way Ruby will also find out. We don't need to be genius to know that Ruby wants to go to Oxford with James and start their new lives together. So, she'll be very disappointed. I also don't think that James will have the time to explain it to her at that moment, so she may still leave whether he stands up for her or not. But I think that it'll work out between them, since she knows that he didn't want to go to Oxford in the first place. We also know that James will be with her as long as he wants no matter what, so I don't think that not going to Oxford will change things. Okay, now let's talk about the other twin who's been suffering from the same monstrous father. Lydia has been trying to deal with her pregnancy, and you don't need to be a doctor to know that Mortimer is not someone she should be around, so she has to get out of that house as soon as possible. And since Sutton has been trying to reach out to her, I think that he can be Lydia's exit. I know that she's been trying to stay away from him and ignoring him, even if it hurts her like hell, but I don't think that it's the right thing. And I'm not even talking about his right to know about his babies. I'm talking about Lydia needing him to be there. We know that she loves him. That's why she's been staying away from him, since she doesn't want to be the one standing between Sutton and his dreams. She saw how happy he was to get that promotion, so I can understand that. But since he's been trying to reach out, ready to risk his career, I think it's time for Lydia to also take a step towards him. Episode 5 will be the one where they'll finally talk about the babies and their relationship and how they'll move forward together. Even though I had doubts about Sutton and how he'll react, I think he'll be there for her from now on, no matter what. I also want to mention something. In my previous video, I told you guys that Mortimer was the one behind Sutton's promotion, and I think episode 4 also backs up my theory. When Lydia asked her father that isn't the punishment enough and that she fell in love with the wrong guy, and Mortimer said that mistakes are okay but not learning for them is not, so he definitely knows what's going on between Lydia and Sutton, but I don't think that he knows about the babies, to be honest. You can't imagine how much I hate Mortimer. And I've been thinking about the mother's inheritance since she died. I'd love to see her giving everything she has to the twins and Ophelia, and nothing to Mortimer. That would be like a gift to Lydia and James, that's for sure. But we'll see, since we have to wait a week before Maxton Hall. Season 2, Episode 5, You can check the video on the screen in the meantime. And don't forget to follow for more Maxton Hall content.